I'm going to give you a personal anecdotal of a client of mine that we were able to revive libido and erections completely when this guy had been on TRT for 2 years. Okay. Wasn't on HCG, didn't listen to the advice to manage estrogen, was in that kind of camp to let it go. 2 years, boys. No libido, no erections. Sure, anabolic benefits, but no sexual benefits on TRT. Where the introduction of HCG in bolus doses with a fine-tuned estrogen control protocol brought everything back. Turns out, boys, if you take a human mammary cell, okay, a breast cell, cancer cell, a breast cancer cell, and you feed it estradiol, it downregulates the androgen receptors in that cell. I've already done research on this, or a full deep dive and breakdown at the cutoff of estradiol, regardless of total T concentrations, at 32 picograms per milliliter, above which you run into erectile issues. You're more susceptible to run into erectile issues. Below 20, of course, in estradiol, for most guys, there's going to be problems too. So the range is fickle. HCG, we've talked about how, with 150 IU injection every day, you're really not getting serum concentrations of HCG to really move the needle. HCG is notorious for turning libido back on so long as estradiol is controlled and so long as the dose of HCG at once is bolus enough. So I'm going to break down exactly what happened here, what the dose is, the whole protocol, how I was able to take this guy from TRT, no libido and erections, to insatiably horny, nocturnal, morning, random, spontaneous erections, and having his sexual life back with just the addition of HCG and a little bit of an AI.
Hey, what up, say? One time for the hometown, I got love for it, that's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family.
Before we get into the video, coaching, look, this is busy season. I just got booked for 2 one-year programs, 3 6-month programs, 4 3-month programs. So boys, I'm going to have to close these down. For those of you business people or serious entrepreneurs or serious people that want to optimize sexual performance, TRT protocols, enhance erectile function, work on dopaminergic restoration, neurogenic restoration, experiment with cerebral lysin, 90-BBC, all the things that fall into my wheelhouse, you've got to book me as soon as you can for either a 3-month program, a 6-month program, a 1-month program, or a 1-year program. Nootropic regimen design, TRT protocol design, sexual dysfunction resolution, libido, sexual function resolution, erectile function, dopaminergic systems regeneration, neurotrophic factor brain regeneration, general biohacking, unlimited calls, unlimited Telegram correspondences, unlimited protocol generation, unlimited protocol adjustments. Nearly booked on these guys. So if you're thinking about booking, you got to book now. Links are in the description of this video. If you need to email me for questions, please do so. Okay, so to start off, I'm going to give you this guy's protocol. I'm going to give you his experience, and then I'm going to break down what we did to intervene and how I was able to get this guy's libido and erections back on TRT. All right, number 1, the protocol was 140 milligrams testosterone enanthate per week. Okay, this guy was injecting every day, so 7 days a week, subcutaneously. So that's 20 milligrams a day, right? Guys, testosterone levels were 1100, 1150, depending on the test. So we responded very well in terms of testosterone levels. Free testosterone was sky high. Estradiol was sitting at 35. Guy was very anabolic. So we got the anabolism benefits from TRT, but libido and erections were shit. I mean, he had 0 sex drive, 0 interest in having sex with his wife, which is kind of tarnishes a relationship over time, boys. No nocturnal erections, no morning erections. Just like basically the thing was dead. You would look at his blood work, right, of estradiol being at 35 and T being at 1150 or whatever it was, and be like, nah, there's got to be some dopaminergic issue. Maybe it's your thyroid hormone, maybe it's this or that, like, stuff that does have credence, but in some cases guys are kind of fucking making up out there. Came to me very, very frustrated, about to go on Clomid, which was a terrible idea, and PCT off. Figured, let me take a couple months with Ryan, let's give this one last go, otherwise I'm going off TRT. In 1 month, okay, 30 days from my initial intervention and a change of his protocol, erections started coming back, libido was roaring back, nocturnal erections were there, morning erections were there. 1.5 months, basically 85-90% of all those things, and at 2 months everything was fully restored, and it stayed throughout the entire duration of the coaching program, which was 6 months in this particular case. This is what we did to his protocol. Number 1, the 140 milligrams a week of testosterone enanthate stayed exactly the same. I even let him do daily micro administrations because he really enjoyed how he felt. The anabolism was great, the energy was amazing. Hematocrit did not rise very much. Like, he had no problems and no side effects on TRT except for the fact that nothing thing worked sexually. 140 milligrams a week is a really great dose of testosterone. All we did, okay, this is gonna kind of blow people's minds because it's actually a lot simpler than it seems. But, you know, people are looking for all these other things on the web. Well, maybe it's the dopaminergic pathways. Maybe it's some serotonergic supplement that I'm taking. You know, maybe estradiol needs to be higher. At one point, this guy thought it needed to be at 50. So we merely added 1,000 IU of HCG, so a bolus injection at once. We've been over this and how these 150 IU injections aren't causing a significant rise in serum HCG levels, which is really not doing a whole lot in terms of the libido benefits of HCG on TRT. You got to be injecting minimally 500 IU at a time, ideally 1,000. Schedule's going to be different for different people. 1,000 IU HCG every third day. Then though, third and final thing, this is not a complex protocol, boys, right? It's just everybody, again, being swayed by Reddit is looking in every other direction, you know, other than estradiol. All we did was bring in 0.09 milligrams of anastrozole every 7 days. That's all we did. You got 140 milligrams testosterone enanthate a week injected, split up into everyday sub-Q injections in the thigh, 1,000 IU HCG every third day, right? Subcutaneous injection in belly fat, 0.09 milligrams anastrozole every 7th day. Week 1, okay? Week 1 that we brought the anastrozole in at just that very, very small micro dose, which is like 0.125 tablet split in half. And then, you know, one of the halves gets split in half again, and you take that other sliver plus the half of sliver, you got 0.09. Week 1, dude, he goes, my libido is starting to come back and erections are better. They're not great, right? It's not perfect, but they're better. And I'm going, this is it. We just need a little bit of HCG, right? You know, and a little bit of an AI. Week 2, erections, better and better, more nocturnal, more spontaneous erections, more morning erections, libido ticking upward, more interested in sex with his wife, started having sex with his wife again. Week 3, guy emails me, I had the strongest erection I've had on TRT the entire time I've been on TRT. Trending in the right direction. Week 4, same, more of the same, just again, this compounded effect of inhibiting aromatase a little bit, right? Dropping the E2 just a little while androgens are rising and while more steroidogenesis and spermatogenesis is taking place in the testicles via HCG. This is very important. Week 5, better and better. Week 6, better and better. Again, week 8, diamond cutters, boys. All night erections, right? Morning erections, very consistent, insatiably horny, sex with his wife 6 times a week. I mean, these guys weren't having sex at all, and they would have to force it, and the guy would have to focus and take a lot of tadalafil in order to make it work. And even then, so he couldn't really climax. On and on. He stayed on board with me for 6 months. We did some other work because the guy was a business person and wanted performance enhancement via nootropics. So once we got that squared away, it stayed squared away, and we just worked on nootropics and brain performance for a while. Bloods, all right, 1250 total tests. The HCG really didn't take his testosterone up all that much. Estradiol, though, each time we measured it, which was right in the middle, like at day 3 or 4, when the anastrozole was half-lifing out of the system, but still a mild inhibition of aromatase was happening. Estradiol was still climbing, but just sort of slowly. 26 picograms per milliliter, not 20, okay? No joint pain, no, aromatase inhibitor induced hair loss, because that's absolutely a thing as well. No wacky mood things like no depression, no anhedonia, nothing, dude. Perfect, in fact, confident, killing it in life, feeling great, like a chipper mood, energy all day. 1250 total tests, estradiol at 26. Fully functional testicles, boys, all right? I mean, these things were big, plump, and normal. I mean, this is very important, right? That addition didn't do it alone because, estrogen was still inhibiting the effects of TRT, which I'm going to get to in a second via androgen receptor downregulation. But importantly, estradiol at 26. Now, what does this tell us? Okay, I'm going to take us to a paper real quick so that we can examine the potential reasons that, the guy was on TRT and estradiol was only 35, but still wasn't getting the sexual benefits from TRT. This is a paper, where am I? Oh, here we go. Boom. This is a paper titled Estrogen Downregulation of Androgen Receptors. So this happened in human mammary cancer cells. And by the way, they don't specify the sex here. It could have been a man, could have been a woman. And yes, it's rare, but men get breast cancer too. Where basically, in summary, they found that estradiol treatment caused a reduction in androgen receptors, okay? And estradiol withdrawal, so taking the estradiol out of the picture, led to a rise in the androgen receptors. Now, this is all contextual here, and obviously this is a cultured mammary cancer cell, so it is difficult to extrapolate. However, it is entirely possible that excess levels of estradiol, or excess for you, because there is no number that works for everyone. Guys got to keep that in mind to stop, perpetuating the idea that is the case. Could be the case that you have some modification, okay, of the androgen receptors as a result of having too much serum estradiol. I am not telling you to be like this guy. Remember, 009 with enough androgen and enough HCG, intratesticular aromatase, so that it's somewhat resistant to the AI. There's still intratesticular aromatase because HCG induces that, right? And the guy's got a pretty high dose or a medium dose of testosterone, high levels, super physiologic testosterone, right? So he's got high levels of androgens here, so that matters, right? I mean, you take an AI with very high androgens, it's not going to crush the estradiol. Importantly, though, if you're dosing aromatase inhibitors, in this case it was Arimidex, carefully, with the right dose, not going crazy with it, boys. You don't have joint pain, you don't go below 20 picograms per milliliter, and everything functions really great. But I'm not telling you to be like this guy. The higher the AI, the better my libido. 15 milligrams test and a day. All right, that's like 105 milligrams a week. It's not a lot, dude. With no AI, libido is 0. Cock don't work. With 0.5 Arimidex, libido is a little better. Dick doesn't work. With 1 milligrams a week of Arimidex, libido better. Dick works a little bit. 2 milligrams a week, libido even better. Dick starts working pretty good. 3 milligrams a week, libido is very good, and dick is rock hard. I'm not telling you to be like that guy. He probably over aromatizes, right? The point is, as androgens are rising, and hopefully spermatogenesis and steroidogenesis is functional in the testicles, if estradiol can drop just a little bit, therein you're going to find resolution of your libido and erectile issues on TRT. Assuming this isn't some large-scale dopaminergic pathway problem, which it could be, assuming you don't have neurogenic ED, which that could be the case, in which case you need to run some neurotrophic factors. I have resolved that in coaching clients as well. All this guy needed to have a bulletproof TRT protocol where everything's great, there's no side effects, and sexual function is rocking, was the addition of 1,000 IU HCG every third day, enough of a bolus to make an actual difference. Again, I've done a full breakdown on that. I'll link the video or show it in front of you so that you can look at it, and a little bit, okay? Guys, 0.09 milligrams of anastrozole, okay? Every 7 days. It's just lowering the estrogen just a little bit, so that as androgens rise and all that steroidogenesis is happening, all that powerful HCG benefit is happening, and that testosterone's going up, struck the perfect balance. 26, boys, 26 picograms per milliliter from 35, everything changed. What was critical about this is it got better as the weeks went on, right? And to a point where it just stayed really well. So week 1, pretty good. Week 2, better. Week 3, better than that. Week 4, better than that. Week 5, better than that. Week 6, better than everything. And then by week 8, pretty much, reached the pinnacle and stayed at that pinnacle ongoingly. What does that tell us, right? It might take a couple iterations of, getting estradiol in the sweet spot, testosterone where it needs to be, and adequate steroidogenesis, spermatogenesis, in order for things to cumulatively get better. It's a compounded effect. When you can keep the estradiol, you keep the estradiol there. 4 weeks goes by and estradiol is in the sweet spot and androgens are great and, the testicles are functional. Holy shit. Huge difference from just 1 week of all that. Body takes time to adjust, boys. I am not pro AI. They're harsh drugs to take. I wish there were better options. There kind of are. I mean, there's a product called Inhibit-E, which allegedly is pretty effective at inhibiting aromatase without causing side effects. So you might want to look into that. There is a natural set of Chinese herbs that are aromatase inhibitors called myomin, which you can also find on Amazon. I'll flash a picture of that in front of the screen. There's calcium D-glucarate, which also is non-selective though, and it lowers androgens as well. So you got to be careful there. Maybe raise your dose of testosterone. Maybe that'll work for you. There's obviously zinc. There's selenium. These things help reduce aromatase expression, in a way which could balance out your TRT protocol and give you everything back. But in cases where you've tried all this stuff, boys, you might just need to bite the bullet, all right? And microdose NAI at a very little bit amount at a time, strategically, right? Considering the half-life, once every 7 days or so with a little bit, no side effects, boys, no joint pain, no depression, no anhedonia. But importantly, full restoration of libido and erections on TRT after years of running tests, listening to the subreddits, not managing estrogen, thinking 35 was okay. What this has taught me, and what a lot of experiences like this has taught me, is that, you know, when people say these kind of broad brush general recommendations that are supposed to be applicable to everyone, you can't take them seriously. Like you can't really take that as like rule. He's at 35 and nothing functions, guys. He needed to be at 26. People's physiology is different, okay? Some people are okay at 40 picograms per milliliter estradiol. I'm not one of those guys, and not a lot of guys are one of those guys. But some people seem to report that that's the case. I've never seen it in client work, by the way. I've never seen that. But some people seem to report that. Importantly, though, you just might need to be a little lower, okay? So keep that in mind. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching. I just want to share this experience with you guys. All right. You know, there's no ideology or cultish thinking caked into this at all. Here's the experience. This is what happened. Take it how you want. All right, boys. Again, pretty critical, mission critical. If you're thinking about getting on board with me on coaching, whether it is a 90-day one-on-one hands-on coaching, or a 180-day hands-on-one coaching, or a 365-day or a 30-day hands-on one-on-one coaching, you got to do it as soon as you can. I just got booked for a lot of stuff, and there'll be a point at which I'm overbooked, and then I can't give people attention. So I have to shut these down. I have to literally shut them down, despite what I want. I would never want to shut business down, but I have to, because I've got too many consulting clients. So if you're thinking about getting on board, this is the spring. This is where I get hit. This is where most of the business in the year comes through. You've got to get on soon, or the bigger coaching programs on this page will literally be shut down. Targeted specialties run the gamut: nootropic regimen design, TRT protocol design, sexual dysfunction, libido, sexual dysfunction, erectile function, dopaminergic systems regeneration, neurotrophic factor brain regeneration, general biohacking. Comes with unlimited calls, boys. You're talking with me, all right? We're on Telegram having conversations, sending audio back and forth, sending labs back and forth. I'm documenting everything on an online protocol. Protocol adjustments, unlimited. If we've got to change the test scores, if we've got to change the HCG, we've got to add an AI, we got to, you know, look at labs and make a decision what to do from there. We've got to modify the cerebral lysin dose. We want to run experiments with dopaminergic systems regeneration. All that stuff included in these bigger packages. Book right now, livecortex.com, before these shut down. All right, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you. Please wish me the best of luck in, you know, going through the next, what will ultimately be probably about a week, where I look like I'm 13 years old because I accidentally had to shave my face from a beard trimmer mishap. Just pray for me, boys. All right, please pray for me. Sub to the channel if you're new here. You're gonna love all the content that comes out here. Just hit that sub button, like the video or dislike the video, whatever. It's up to you. Appreciate the fact that you've been with me. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you have a great day. Up and coming, okay, my chronicles of intramuscular cerebral lysin dosing. Okay, I'm gonna break that down. I'm on day 4 today. I will do a video of the first 5 days very soon, so look forward to that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.